Welcome to the final leg of this New Zealand series. It's kind of sad looking at it now, getting towards the end of this, editing all these together and realizing that this year-long project is now coming to an end. Today we head to Arrowtown and enjoy everything Arrowtown has to offer. And on the way, we have a few pit stops because we see some beautiful places. And I'd like to start this off with sharing this photo with you. The colors in this area were really second to none. I didn't really think a lot of it, taking this image in particular. It didn't really creatively inspire me, but every time I would show this to someone, they would always comment on how beautiful the tones are in the image, which I thought was really cool because the color was really what pulled the image out of being a mundane, not really interesting image into something that people really connect with, which is just interesting to observe. This next image here is really interesting because it's actually a 180-degree turn from where we were from the first image. There was a bit of color manipulation to make it look like this. I really thought that it had the potential to look like a winter wonderland. So without any leaves or any of the trees, anything like that, I just made it look blue, made it look cooler. And I think we got like a bit of a creative and interesting image here. It's not authentic in color tone, but I think creativity sometimes in photography, even landscape photography, it has its merit. For those who are wondering, this is actually called Roaring Meg. I didn't say it earlier in the video, but I wanted to make sure that I named it here. But we ended up making our way to Arrowtown from this location. We parked Jen and we just had the afternoon to just explore. And I'll be completely transparent here, I took more photos here than I did take any clips, so we're going to be doing a lot of images rather than taking a lot of clips here. So I hope that doesn't bother anyone, and I hope we're still in for the rest of this video. But this first one we got here is of the cabins that they have at the campgrounds that we stayed at, and I just thought the light bounced off these buildings beautifully, so I just had to take a snap. As you can see here, I did decide to go for a landscape one, capturing all 4 of the huts, and then one vertical, only capturing 3, and I think I like the one with the 3. As you can see, the one on the left here has that little gutter that comes off the one on the far right, and it just breaks the balance of the image a little bit. So I personally really enjoy the one on the right a little bit more, even though I think the landscape aspect ratio kind of does it more justice, but a bit of a trade-off, but I think that's where I land with my preference there. Plus on the landscape one, that little bit of shadow that you can see on the building is just like, so nice. It wouldn't be this trip if we weren't followed by another cat here. We found this one just walking along the street and they wanted to say hello and we wanted to say hello, and then they just followed us for a good little while as we walked away. It's just, I don't know, running into animals like that that are just friendly is just a really cool experience. It never gets old. At this point, we haven't even made it into the center of Arrowtown. I just see this frame that, it just really captures my eye, my creative, like mind just fires off. And I just thought, in the moment they're taking this image, that this photo would really benefit from looking like an oil painting. So this next photo here, I really tried to, even though it's a digital image, recreate that soft matte oil painting look, and I think we got a really cool result. I love this image so much, and I would love to get this one developed and printed at some point. When I have a home that we can hang stuff on the walls, I will definitely be hanging this one up because it's probably one of my favorite images I've ever taken. Yeah, just those autumn colors, the way that the matte looks when you just look, if you can keep zooming in and it keeps bringing up detail, it's just beautiful. I love this image so much. It's just Arrowtown in these autumn tones. We just missed the festival, I think, by like 2 weeks or so by the time we got here, but everything was still beautifully orange and yellow, and the autumn colors were still in full swing, so we were not mad at all. To kind of explain what Arrowtown is like, it's essentially one street is the main center of the town that a lot of the tourists go, and they have some beautiful architecture here. It's quite cottage-esque, and I think it has a nice tone when you walk through. It's really cozy. It's a very winter town. And these next few images here are just a couple of street photos and like architecture photography that I took walking through the streets. This one here I thought was really interesting, of the duplex, I guess. Having that shadow that cuts directly on a diagonal through the 2 buildings, I just think it creates a general amount of interest. And just having it be bright red, like, yeah, you can't miss them. They're beautiful, beautiful colors. Towards the end of the town, we stumbled across this old hut-looking building. We were, it's turned into an information center now, but on closer inspection, we found out that this was the old police station that they've turned into an information center. And I got this photo of Laurie just reading from the outside that I just think has a really nice, ominous feeling to it. Through editing and how we manipulate the tones, it looks more dramatic than it was. It was like mid-afternoon. This is actually where we called it for the night. I didn't feel the light was doing much for me at this point onwards, so we called it for photos and we went and got dinner. We went to the local like tavern-y sort of a restaurant. It was cool. It was really, really cool. Beautiful food, mulled wine, so nice. The next morning we got up early and we went for a walk. This is wedding day, so this is the whole purpose of this entire trip is literally happening today, 4 days into the trip. And we went out early because we wanted to, see the beautiful light and just take in as much as we could. So we went out and just explored the parks that they have surrounding Arrowtown, which these walks go on for kilometers. You can do full day trips on these walks, but we only had a few hours, so we just kind of ventured close by. The beautiful thing about being in and around mountains is that the light just takes that little bit longer to peek over the top of the mountain ranges, and you just sometimes get these little blips of light that catch the trees, and this image was a perfect example of that. And as we entered the parks here, we came across these horses that I only took clips of. I didn't have any usable photos that I really enjoyed out of this. The photo of this leaf here is actually just a prime example of how beautiful the autumn tones are in this town. So something so simple, but something so beautiful. This shot here is something that I got a little bit creative with. I thought it'd be cool because of how bright the light was coming in from behind these trees. If I got the branches looking like a bit of a skeleton, and I think it came out cool. Bit of an interesting shot, not what you would expect coming out of photography, but I thought it was a bit of an interesting artistic take on what this look was. And then we came across this little greenhouse with some cherry tomatoes inside, and it just screamed for me to take photos of it. We both were in awe of how the light from the glass on it, well, the plastic glass, refracted and just created this green hue over the entire thing. And then the green and the pop of red, it was just beautiful. And just how small these little tomatoes were, it creates such an ominous feeling of, I don't know, it has this creative feeling of, I want to say like loneliness or isolation because of how the leaves are just pressed up against the glass. It's almost like they want to get out. That's how I feel when I see these images and what I felt in the moment when I was capturing these. A bit of a somber take on it, but I don't know, art, the world like puts these things in front of you for you to take advantage of and see and experience. And I think that this is a great example of how just something so mundane can tell such a story, in my eyes at least. So we've done one of the walks that go in and around one of the parks, and we had a little bit more time but didn't want to venture too much further down. So we decided to actually just stay on the road and leave town. So we go into a bit more of the suburbs out of Arrowtown, and we came across this one house that in black and white, this image looks stunning. In color, this image did not look this good. I think the black and white made the image as powerful as it is, and some of these homes through here are something else. Because we were venturing out of what the Arrowtown town was, I actually kind of changed how I was looking at taking these images. Originally, it was more street photography, getting details, getting places, things, and people, where now we're leaving, and I really wanted to try and change my mind to taking images like I would as a film photographer. It's a different look. When you have film photography compared to digital, you can see there's a different way people compose. So I tried to change the way I was shooting to match that. And I think even the colors here, I did quite well in matching Portra. I really love how the colors turned out. And it's just really a nice way to flex the way we think about photography, because we can get stale in the way we shoot a lot. And it's really easy to get trapped into doing the same thing over and over again and making that become monotonous, where just changing how I shot, changed the image vibe, the look, the energy, and overall, I think we got better images. You can't go wrong with morning light. It's cold, everything's green, we get autumn colors, and we just have a bit of a breakfast club moment. These are my favorite sort of shoots to do. The way it just has an energy and it's iconic, so you can't miss. We packed it in for the day from this point though, and we walked back to Jen and we chilled, and then we head to the wedding, which was one of the most beautiful weddings I've ever been a part of to witness. I am so happy for the two of you, Kayla and Tom. Thank you so much for everything. You guys are perfect for each other, and we are so happy for you. And we're so grateful you had us be there for your special day. I wanted to keep it private in this video and not talk about it too much, but wow, what a night, what a night. It's just, yeah, stunning. We got home, let's just say, late. And the next day we wanted to experience Queenstown right before we left. So we left Arrowtown, headed to Queenstown, parked Jen, experienced Queenstown. It's a sad day. We've hit our last stop. I know, it's weird. Last stop in Queenstown. We're gonna get burgers and fish and chips or something. Then we're gonna just chill for the night, and then we leave tomorrow. So yeah.
So weird.
Beautiful day though. It is a beautiful day though.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Stunning day.
Not as cold today either.
Yeah.
Got the Ferg burgers, did all that sort of stuff. Took some photos. I think we got some really cool film images and photos of people lining up, because Ferg Burgers is one of the most busiest places I have ever experienced in terms of restaurant. And then we just chilled, hung out, and that was our final day in New Zealand. And that's it. Kind of crazy to go back and think about it now. Yeah, I'm really grateful if you've seen the entire series here. A lot of love has gone into producing this and making it what it is, because it could have very easily been a travel hype reel, or just we should share travel photos and just try and get something out of that. But I just wanted to make something that is so tangible for me to look back on later in life. Like this series, these videos later in life will be something important that I keep with me. And then to see how much what I do and how I create changes over time. This is a special trip, and I'm so grateful for you all if you stuck through it up until this point. And yeah, I think we're gonna create more YouTube videos, and maybe not this caliber all the time, but yeah, I'm excited to see where this all goes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. There's one more video coming out from New Zealand, but it's a cozy one that you just wanna like chuck on in the background. But yeah, I'll see you there. Cool, we did it, it's done. Oh, thank you again. Okay, I'm gonna go.